Right then, welcome back to the Stephen Howson podcast. Today I'm joined by former paratrooper Nick Dunn, and Nick was wrongfully imprisoned for reasons that we are going to get into in a second. This is a fascinating story and one that I can't wait to hear firsthand. But Nick, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you for having us on your podcast. Lovely to be here.
Right, Nick, let's get straight into this.
Yes.
I was thinking about, let's set the scene. Join the paras. What's all that about? You know, some of the army career stuff. Maybe we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
But fill me and the audience in. What happened in 2013?
I was working as a private armed security, preventing Somali pirates from hijacking commercial vessels and holding them for ransom. In October 2013, off the coast of India, there was a cyclone, so we were a bit close to India, which under the maritime law isn't a problem. We needed fuel and provisions. We were taking that on. And then the next morning, we were abruptly boarded by the Coast Guard at gunpoint and then told to go towards the port of Tuticorin for questioning. Kept in the dark. No one knew exactly what was going on. When you're doing this kind of job and you're working in these kind of countries around the world, then they have an inkling on wage. So they're always trying to see what they can get out with by coming up with, flimsy charges or stuff like that. But what actually happened to us was something that we couldn't just magically make disappear.
Is that a common thing? You get boarded or you get held up and you're like, maybe $500 makes this go away. You pony up and on your way.
Yeah, the amount of guys that I've had tell me just their passport was a bit frayed, and that's cost $4,000 to make them get a visa. You know what I mean? Like, what can you do? You're there to do a job, but in certain countries, bribery is a thing which is quite rife. But in their way of life, it's how they just make ends meet, to be honest.
So what's the name of the ship that you're on?
We were on the Seaman Guard Ohio, which it wasn't the commercial vessel that I was when I started the transit before deploying. This is like a holding platform ship owned by the company. So the security would operate on and off the ship. So they'll bring that kit, they'll stay on the ship, hand the weapons in, they put away under lock and key, and then wait for the next transit. So they could be on that ship for a few days, a couple of weeks. It depends. We were on it for a couple of days, and then it got to the point where we needed to organise fuel and provisions, to which that's what the crew and the captain does. We're just chilling, getting a bit of suntan and fishing for squid.
So there was six security on the boat?
There was literally 35 personnel on that ship. 25 were security guards.
Wow. So
there was 6 British, 14 Estonian, 3 Ukrainian, and 12 Indians. 25 security on that board. Mm-hmm. Weapons were stored away with the ammunition. The only people that could have access at any given time was the captain, obviously, and the guy who was in charge of the security, the tactical deployment officer. Other than that, you're just waiting for a new job. So
you're just sitting around reading magazines, playing cards,
yeah,
shooting a shit.
You don't want to be on that too long because it's cramped, and you want to be, on a commercial vessel going from here to there, and and the quicker you go from here to there, next transit.
That the anti-piracy stuff was very popular, wasn't it? After the sort of big wave of the Iraq and Afghan tours, loads of lads went and did that. Are you getting engagements out there?
Me personally, you've got people who've done that and they'll say, "Oh, this happened, that happened," and certain stuff. A lot of the time, yes, it would, but when I was doing it, a lot more security was on a lot more vessels. I've came into contact with the pirates, but when you're around the Bab el-Mandeb, at the bottom of the Red Sea, before you go towards, the Horn of Africa, you've got little islands where they try and just hide around. So you'll get watchers, lookers. So they are just a group of guys, and they'll look at these vessels coming down, and they'll go security. So they're not trying to be hidden. They're trying to save the security, so they want to be seen. And I was coming down, it was like first light of the Red Sea. I've never seen the sea so smooth. It was like a sheet of glass, and you got the morning mist. And then there was about 6 of them in a speedboat just bobbing around. And I made myself known to them that they know I'm here. And I know fine well they would have gotten in touch with their guys a bit further down and said, this vessel got security, don't attack. There's been guys that's been on a vessel, seeing the vessel behind getting attacked. When it's land, things can happen a lot quicker, but at sea, the chances you're coming across is so slim. But it's better to be vigilant. It's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to have a security team on your vessel, because if they manage to hijack these ships, the crew's lives are in danger. And, well, people complain about prices. Well, that's why they go up, because the ships are getting hijacked.
Yeah,
So,
insurance goes up, everything
yes.
goes up. Is this post Captain Phillips?
Yes. And the original Captain Phillips, did an interview in saying security, armed guards, if they were on his ship, he wouldn't have been taken captive.
Yeah, because it was just the crew that
It was
fought,
just
wasn't
crew, yeah. And when you get on certain ships, some of them are bare. They haven't, and that's they were scared, and they were like, "Oh, thank you." And then we would come on and we'll go, right, we need barbed wire, we need the hoses, we need this, we need to make sure it is so impossible for the pirates to climb on board. They just go and think there's no point here. So, but there's like other vessels. I remember coming on a Filipino ship, and we didn't have to do anything. They had everything set up, and it was amazing, because that's a crew that knows the dangers, and they took heed of it. Some are just, no one gets us. Next minute, they've been hijacked. Because people want to save money. Shipping companies, they want to save money, so they'll not pay. And then next minute, they'll be like, oh, well, we'll bring the money down because it's not. And then it just takes for one ship that doesn't have security, because they think, oh, it's quiet. Yes, it might be quiet because you're not hearing about it on the news, but it's still happening. You'll always get piracy in the world. It'll never go away.
How many guards are on each main vessel?
Either 4 or 3.
That's not a lot of guys, is it? Are you doing, what?
You're doing 2 shifts.
12-hour stags?
So in a team of 4, you'll do 3 on 6 off, 3 on 9 off. So you'll do your 3-hour stint, and then 9 hours later. When it's 3, you're doing an extra hour. There's people, sometimes some people have done 2 12-hour shift. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Like staring at vast ocean, and you look on the radar, and the next ship's like 20, 30 odd nautical miles away, and you're like, nah, not going to say that. But last light, first light, just as when you were in the military, they are the times where you're going to attack. So you're always vigilant around. You got to be vigilant anyways, but
Stand to at that time.
They're the times where you know what I mean. Let's finish my cup of coffee, get a bit alert, go on to the wings, binos, and try and listen as well, because they're sneaky. and it dark and the pitch black, it's very hard to see them. And so that's where hearing comes into as well. And you think, well, how can you hear? Because you can hear the ship. You'll be surprised when there's no other vessels around. But it's just one of those. You've just got to remain vigilant.
So walk me through the boarding as it happened, as you guys were arrested.
So the 11th of October, we were taking fuel on board. So another vessel came and they were bringing the fuel. And there was a cyclone happening not too far, so the sea was pretty choppy. And I said to the TJO, oh, I'm going to sleep. And then a few hours later, he came and gave an abrupt wake-up call saying we're being boarded. So the Indian Coast Guard came, a guy armed, went onto the bridge and went, go to port. Where we were to where the port was, it would take about an hour and a half to get there. I'd say 12 nautical miles, 10 nautical miles. Roughly, we were going ever so slow, around 2-3 nautical miles. And I questioned this. I said, why are we going so slow for? And it wasn't until we come into the port of Tuticorin, we had a massive welcome committee. I must have counted easy, minimum 50 people on the port side.
Police, Coast Guard.
Waiting. Whoever these were, Coast Guard officials, police, media, the port workers, everyone was thinking someone's been nabbed here. So I come in for a little look. But when we obviously put the ramp down and, it was like free for all. We had to then go, whoa, who are you? Identify yourself. We're not just letting you on the vessel. It's part of, maritime law where this, that, and the other. And they kind of got a bit upset as well, the Indians. So we had to do things their way, which was a lot of shouting by the police and us going, what's going on? Who are you? And then they would go, right, we're going to show you the weapons. We never hid anything. Weapons, the certificates of the licenses, which company, this, X, Y, and Z. And you've got companies from as far as Mumbai. And we're like, hang on a minute. There's no way they got told this, but at that time, you first think of it, but then...
Companies as in like media companies.
Yeah.
I'd got all the way down to the port.
And there was other maritime companies, other police organisations from as far as Mumbai that were here at this port. And we were going through all the proceedings of this company wants to have a look, so we're showing them this. They're going, well, there's nothing to be had here. And they're leaving. And then the local boys, Q branch, realised this. They were thinking, we're going to look like a bunch of idiots here. Because the southeast and the north, i.e. the capital, hate each other. And the southeast, the state of Tamil Nadu, despises the Brits ever ruling India. So when they found out there were 6 British here, it was like, party time.
So do you think that they're looking for some sort of a reason to nick us all at that moment?
Yes, and it was because of the 2 Italian Marines who unfortunately killed 2 fishermen off the coast of Kerala. That really upset Indians because they couldn't...
What was that, a year or two before?
That was the year before, in the January. So they couldn't punish them, couldn't put them in prison, anything like this. And they were kicked off the anti-piracy operations because they were just going around murdering fishermen without PID in them as, the bad guys, as in Somali pirates. They were just killing fishermen. So they were like, get off, you lunatics. So they were pissed off. And then they must have thought we were something special because the top admiral of the Indian Navy says, live, we've got them. And we're like, who do you think you've got? So, at the time, what's going on here? I can reflect back now and think it was a setup. We were being made examples of.
Do you think it was because of the Italian Marines?
Yes. The whole thing wouldn't have started if it wasn't for them killing 2 Indian fishermen. And they couldn't pinpoint it on them, even though they got dubbed in by the ship captain. They couldn't put them in prison.
What's the background, of we got 6 British.
6 British.
All ex-servicemen.
Yes.
All paras.
4 of them were paras. And 2 Yorkshires, something like that.
We got ex-military, Estonians, Ukrainians. Is everybody ex-military?
Military, ex-police, stuff like that. Everyone's got some sort of firearms background, Some of the Estonians who were living on the border of Russian, basically were just Russian bears, but with an Estonian passport. Couldn't speak Estonian, speak Russian. Unbelievable. But at first, when it all happened, there was a lot of tension. Different cultures, different language, people being pissed off. What's going on here?
Is anyone sort of corralling your group together and saying, I'll speak on your behalf, or?
Well, the Indians went to the captain. Captain fobbed the Indians off.
Your Indian teammates?
The police. So the captain of the whole vessel, the Indian police wanted to speak to him. He just locked himself in his cabin, so he pissed them off royally.
Oh, nice one, mate.
Yeah. We still would have been arrested, regardless if he went, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir, but it doesn't bode well. I can say nothing would have changed, but at that moment in time, it's not looking good for you when the captain is shouting at the Indian police and then locking himself away. You're like, hang on a minute. So Paul, the TDO, the guy in charge of the weapons, the security, was then delegated by the Indian police. You're in charge. And they kept referring to him as captain. And he was like, I'm not a captain. I'm just one of these. But someone had to take heed. Someone had to stand up and go, right, I don't want to do it, but I'll have to be in charge, so to speak, because everyone going like that, nothing gets done. And Indians don't like that. And, it was just like a massive gang fuck about to happen. Just, when you sit there and you just go, something's just going to explode here. And I don't know what.
What are you thinking? So you're witnessing 50, 60 people on the port side as you lads have been dragged into the port. Your captain's gone and hid. The TGO's trying to deal with, I imagine, multiple agencies by the sound of things wanting a ton of different information. Are you even aware of what information they want at this moment, or is it just too loud?
All we got told was passport, seaman's discharge book. That was it.
What's a seaman's discharge
It's
book?
basically what all seafarers have, where the captain writes the details of when you were on their ship and what the name is and signs it.
Like a logbook.
Yeah, but it's like a passport for the seafarers. So we had to have one of them to work on ships to do our job. So they're just wanting that. So
that's pretty normal, right? Feels pretty normal.
Yeah, it's pretty normal. We never got any of them back. So they kept it, then they gave us it back, then they kept it, then they gave us it back. So this is one company going, there's nothing, we don't see any illegal activity happening. So while this company's going through that and they just went, we'll just keep your passport now because we're getting them back, giving them back. And it was like getting frustrated. The local boys were like, why is things taking so long? Because they're starting to get a bit itchy feet about, are we going to look like a bunch of dicks here?
Your Indian security teammates, what are they doing?
Trying not to get smashed, because one of them was a local guy, and so he was the translator while getting grilled. So you can imagine the position he was in, how uncomfortable.
Sweating.
Yeah.
Big time.
So we had no translator. We had guy come from, we had heard that someone coming from the company was going to represent us, our agent, but he decided to disappear once everything was going on by the weapons. I've got video footage of him laughing and joking with the police, and I'm thinking, this doesn't look right. If he's laughing and joking with the people that is going to put us in prison, something's not right here. But you've got all these different organisations, and they're coming and going, and then it's getting to the point where the police are like, we need to get things moving here.
So do you feel in this moment there's any sort of stitch up happening, or do you think at the moment it's a bit of a nose, but we're going to deal with this and we'll be back out at sea in a couple of hours?
Oh yeah, of course. But then things started filtering through from the Estonian sides. Their families are seeing Indian online news reports saying we're about to attack a nuclear power plant. We're going to do a Mumbai-style attack. We're selling weapons to the Tamil Tigers. We're doing this, we're doing that. So India have now turned their own country against us. They're painting us as terrorists. And that's not nice for someone who's ex-military, who's been to Iraq, who's been to Afghanistan, and been to Northern Ireland, to be then told, 1 minute you're saving people from terrorism, but now you are a terrorist. And then that comes to your family.
That's got out quick, because you've not even been nicked by the time this is happening.
Where we were on port for about 6 days.
Right.
So it took 4 days for them to remove 35 weapons. And this is where they go. 35 people, 35 weapons. Only 25 people could use the weapons, but they were like, not interested. You're up to something. And yeah, you're laughing because that's what we were just thinking. We're just thinking, this is a joke, isn't it? And then I get a phone call off my dad. He goes, Nick, I want you to answer me a serious question here, because what me and your sister and your mum are reading is you're up to something. Are you selling weapons? Are you doing something dodgy? Because if you are, you'll get nothing from us. You own it like a man. I said, Dad, no, I'm a protector. I'm trained security. Do not believe what they are saying. They're saying, we are going to attack a nuclear power plant. They said another one's could say we're going to sell weapons. I said, that's not happening. He says, right, okay, fair enough. You've got our full support. Just wanted to hear it from you, because this is what's happening. The families in the UK and Estonia are thinking you're up to something, and you're not telling me, because that's what the Indian media said. They're trying to turn everyone against each other. They're trying to just destroy you before it even begins. And then with a time difference, it was 4.5 hours, and Madame Q branch comes. Yeah. She says, you're going to hospital. This is the morning of the 18th of October. You're going to hospital. And we went, no, we're not. You know, what hospital says you can't take a watch? What hospital says you can't take a belt? What hospital says someone can't have a wedding ring or a pair of reading glasses? What hospital says you can't take a mobile phone?
So is that the moment you went?
We knew where we were going. So the TJO says, right, you're representing the company because there's media. Put your uniform on. We are professional. Well, that's what we did. And he went, right, 2 buses turned up. 2 armed guards per person.
So what's that, 50 armed guards?
There's 35 of us.
Oh, 35, yeah.
And 2 armed guards per person on these 2 buses. Honestly, I've never shit myself in my entire life. What weapons flying around like that? But she literally says, right, you're going, well, and then Paul went, right, lads, get your uniform on. You can't take this, you can't take that. And then everyone's starting to, what? And listen, you know what's happening. You're getting arrested, right? Let's not beat around the bush. Make your phone calls. So I'm a mummy's boy. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm a little baby. I tried to ring her. I mean, this is the time difference. It's like 7 o'clock Indian time. So 4.5 hours behind.
AM.
Yeah.
She's in bed.
She's in bed. So I did try and ring my sister. She didn't answer. Surprise. Damn, so I rang my mum. My mum's sleeping tablet at the time didn't kick in properly. So she was kind of in and out, slurry a bit. But that's the last time I've ever been able to speak to my mum. Till I'm getting arrested. But what do? It's one of the regrets I've got. I wish I never made that phone call. I wish my sister had answered the phone. But I had to say goodbye to my mum. Well, I didn't say goodbye. I said, I'll see you later. I don't know when. But don't worry, I'll be all right. And I love you. And then my sister rang immediately and I went, get the embassy now. Now. She says, right, okay. I said, now. They're lifting me. This is my last phone call. I'll see you soon.
Even at this point, obviously, this has gone royally west.
Oh, yes.
And you know it's going royally west as well. But probably, at what point in this 5 days or so are you thinking, it's a shit show, this, but you believe in justice, you believe in the embassies and all that. You think, what are you thinking here? A week and probably get dealt with a few days, a day? What are you thinking at the time?
Yeah, just exactly what you've said. Just thrown in their local Nick for a bit, just so they can get all the paperwork and see if they can speak with the company. Apparently we were told that one of the company representatives was coming, but he got a bit of a hot collar and then vanished. So, like, we've been lifted off the ship and we've been thrown in this little room in the police station. No food, a bottle of water, no interpreter.
Is this the hospital?
Yes, this is the hospital.
So you arrive and it's...
So we arrived. You got your buses, cars, police. Got the media hanging out there trying to get pictures of her on the bus. You know, everyone, there's a milling outside the police station. The woman in charge of the investigation, we called her Madam Q Branch, is screaming because she wants things done before the courts close. She wants to be processed. They've got all our details and they're chucking blank pieces of paper. Sign. I'm like, I'm not signing a blank piece of paper, man. I've watched too much Banged Up Abroad, man. Don't be daft. Not signing nothing. We had to sign anyways because they wouldn't proceed. I was just scribbled a name. I didn't even write. But
Mr. Charles Edward Cheese.
When you looked at the charge sheet, even when you looked at the non-British passports, it's still in block capitals. So you can read their names. Every person's name on that charge sheet was wrong. So if that had happened in a UK court of law, the case would have been thrown out on one of those technicalities.
Even if you were banged to rights.
Even though my name is Nicholas James Dunn, on the paperwork it was Nicholas James. Because they went father's name. I went, James? Well, that's my dad's name. I didn't, and they were meaning my surname, obviously, but like, I was like, well, I'm not writing anything. You've got my passport. Write my name down. I think they only got the Indian ones probably right.
What have they charged you with at this moment?
They've originally charged us with being in Indian waters, and illegal firearms.
So the whole terrorism attack on a nuclear power plant was, what's that? And where's that come from? And
That's just come from police to the media lying to get the people to turn against her.
But when they actually get you, they've not charged you with anything.
Oh, they haven't charged her at all. We didn't get any charges for about 3 months.
So what's going on in that room, the hospital, which is obviously the police station?
Just basically sweating it out.
Right. For how long?
No one was represented with the guy. Like I say, the Indian lad who could speak Tamil was literally, and then you've got one of the Estonians who can speak Russian, and so there was a translator for a translator, and it was frustrating the Indians because they just wanted all to write a signature so they could all give the same bloody death penalty in their eyes. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. He's admitted to having illegal weapons. I didn't say that. That's exactly what they were doing. But it wasn't nice because as the days going on, you're trying your best not to think of what's going on back in the UK. I can just picture my family's, all families, not just mine, all families running around like headless chickens, and the embassy phones being shut off to then give them a separate number so that they can't hold up the whole. Because I know fine well, 6 British they got given a different number to ring because they couldn't keep ringing the normal number because they were every day. What's going on? Yous are there and we're not. 2, and then we're in this police station, and it's getting dark. No one's representing her, and they're like, right. She's screaming to get them, so what? Because they had to process her at the court to chuck her in prison. So we all got on this bus. We're tired, banging. We've not slept in nearly a week because we don't know what's going on. You know, we're trying to.
Even when you're still on the platform, you're not having a good night's kip.
No, because the police were wandering around. One of them tried to sneak into our room, a little fever. You know what I mean? He got told where to go. But you then get told, right, back on the bus, you're off, and then you're in the dark, so you don't know.
Yeah, are we going back to the boat?
No.
Are we going back to jail?
Don't know.
Yeah.
But we're pulled up at the court.
Is there any moment in there that you think it's over? Or are you thinking...
Not at that time, no.
You're thinking we're getting deeper into the system?
Yeah, we're getting put into the system. We admitted to ourselves that once we got took off that vessel, that was it. We're in their hands now. There's nothing going to save you. That we're shown that when our own company couldn't give representatives for her.
Mm. Who are you talking
to?
Because
the police were going to arrest them,
right? Just
because they had links to the. So if a cat was on that ship, that cat would be getting arrested. That's the shit. That's how they saw it. Everyone on that ship is getting accountable. You're coming to attack India. That was their mindset. And I was like, what on earth? We just wanted fuel and provisions and be on our way. When, you know what I mean? We only come close to India because the cyclone, allows us to seek shelter. But we weren't coming to India at all.
So that was the reason why.
And we got closer. So I know fine well the second officer's dobbed it in because he said he hadn't been paid and he was a whingy little bastard anyways. And he's been in touch with the local authorities and he's probably said that hold him at gunpoint and some shite like that. Because why would you come all kitted up, you know what I mean, gunboat, the whole lot? So something was told days in advance for everyone to get in place. So it was like a Caesar fucking exercise. Like, but you don't know what's going on. You're just trying to think. At one point I was like, my family's just been told by I'm a terrorist. I'm telling them I'm not. You know, so you're trying to think, and then you're now in a police station, and then now you're outside a court. The court was shut, so we had to go around the back. This guy in a suit, which was the judge's assistant, waffled something. We went back on the bus, and then we went to the Hotel California. Hotel Tuticorin, a prison where it was built under British rule. And it looked fucking frightening. It looked something like, you go through them doors, you don't come back out alive. That's the kind of prison it looked like. We got up there like 11:30 at night. Mosquitoes going berserk. And we're just like, what is going on here?
What have you got with you?
Clothes.
What you're stood in?
Yeah.
No bag?
No.
Nothing?
No.
No contact numbers?
Well, they did give a little bit, like, we had someone come and give her like a little handout bag or something, like with toothpaste and, you know, nothing great. And then the neck, like we say, we're all brought into this prison. The prison guards, when they realised there was British, you more or less seen them doing cartwheels or shoes on the other foot now. And we're just basically thumbprint with the ink, proper old school, no computers and out. I thought, what's going on here? Where, you know, you don't see much because it's pitch black. And then we all got shipped into this like outhouse with like a hole in the floor for a toilet and a trough just to try and wash. And then we're given a little bowl, a plate, metal plate, and 2 sheets, and that was it. And then they kind of put a bit of food on, which was like half-cooked baked potatoes and dal and rice. I thought, I'd rather starve. And then you're just like, what the fuck? And then they switch the lights off. Try to sleep, but we know people won't. And then we wake up and then we realise where we actually are. We're in this like outhouse away from the main prison building. We see all the local prisoners hanging out the windows.
Who's in the outhouse? All 35 of you?
All 35 of us.
How big's that room?
It's like a small office kind of. It wasn't that big.
Bunk beds?
No,
beds?
no beds.
No beds. Just
floor.
Oh, right.
Floor's your bed.
So it's like a platoon house affair where it's just everyone's just on the floor together, right?
Your 2 sheets is what you lie on, and then get your trainers and put your top off, and then create like a little pillow kind of thing. But it was basic, nothing.
Who are you talking to at this moment? Are you talking to any of the teammates, any of the Brits, any of the Estonians?
Oh yeah, well we're all talking to each other, trying to just fathom what has just fucking happened. See, it's been going on a week.
Where's your morale at? Are you kind of like 2-3 days, we're out of here, I'm all right? Or are you thinking worse than that?
At this present moment in time, I'm probably thinking, right, let's not get too worried here. We've all seen these the use scare tactics. We're not in that prison. We're in an outhouse, so that could be just a little bit of scare tactics. And then the next day we get a phone call. Not a phone call. Next day we get told, come, Brits. Well, and then a lass from New Delhi and the local Chennai are sat before we, and we just look at them and go, what's going on? And they went, we don't know. It's like, well, if you don't know what's going on, we don't know what's going on. Someone tell me what's going on, please.
Who are they? Prison representatives?
Not the embassy.
Oh.
The British embassy came They weren't, apparently what we were told, they were denied access at the port to see us. I'm sorry, that's denying a government. You don't do that. So whether that, we don't know if it was just something to say, but it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't bother pursuing it and saying, you're not denying us. They'll probably just went, we'll see them tomorrow in prison.
So when the embassy come, you've asked them, honestly, what's going on? And they go, we don't know. Are you still going, look, embassy don't even know what's going on. Give it a couple of days. Are you still kind of pretty chipper about this?
No, we'll just relax. You ex-mil guys, you laugh in the face of adversity.
We've been fucked about before.
Yeah, and you just think, So we'll kind of give as much information to the embassy as best as we can. And the embassy go, right, here's a blank piece of paper. There's a letter. Tell your family you're fine. Because...
yeah, they're flapping.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be the worst thing for your family, isn't it? Is you guys are dealing with it, and you're dealing with it together. And at this moment, you're probably, like you just said, we're figuring it out.
We are figuring it out.
But your family back home, probably not gone to work, not slept, made 75,000 phone calls.
Oh. Wow. Like I say, there is parts of in me book where my sister explains a lot what was going on, so it gives a break of me. The stuff that was happening in the UK while we're just languishing in prison was unbelievable. Like what, not just my sister, but the other guys, their families contributed as well. But my sister just never laid off. She was doing it not just for me, but for everyone. We're all in this together. Whether you've got personal likes, dislikes with each other, tough shit, but build a bridge, get over it. We're all in this together. Shit bust. And then, so we wrote a letter, give it to the embassy, and then we'll try and find out what's going on. So they're going to do what they're going to be doing, trying to find out what's going on, this, that, and then the next day, the superintendent come, which all superintendents in in Indian prisons are very educated people. And he came and personally spoke to us. And you know what? You could say it, man. Their hands are forced. They don't want us there. They know we've done nothing wrong. But who's he to say? He's a prison guard.
He gets told, you've got these lads. Yeah. He's got these lads, hasn't he?
And he goes, gents, just to let you know, the 22 foreigners are going up to Chennai. So the 12 Indians are staying there. We know the reason why. Because of what we saw when we had to do a video call. So they brought us from Chennai back to Tuticorin for a 2-minute video call, 2-minute call to a judge just to look at relevant. And when we saw the Indians, they looked like they were about to die. They were getting the chef. He was on the ship. He was staying. He was bubbling. He says, "I can't do this, man. They're torturing me." I was like, no wonder they wanted us separated, because we would have looked after the Indians. There was no way the guards, when you see the guards use their latte sticks on prisoners, they don't muck around. You're not running nowhere.
They were filling in the lads.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The 12 Indian lads that was part of your
they
team.
were definitely getting hit with latte sticks and all that. Some of them say, no. But the reason why they kept them there is to keep them away from us, because we would have protected them. So they stayed in Tuticorin, and we got moved up to Chennai. So we go up to the remand prison, and we stayed there for about just shy of 6 months. So we're still no charges. A couple of days. So we've got a 14-hour bus journey. 2 armed guards per person. They're falling asleep. We're not handcuffed. Weapons are all over. You're thinking, it just takes one of them while snoring to put his finger on the trigger when they hit a bump in the road and a round going off. because you don't know the state of their weapons. They would probably just cocked it and made it ready for all I know, and just, oh, look at me, I'm a police guard, and I'm thinking, and then they're slavering, asleep, and you're like, and when we're on our way to Chennai, I had a thought from my head. I said, you know, we could take these, just batter them, but then you've got a big burly bunch of white Westerners running around the small little towns of India. They'll be like, you're not going to hide anywhere. Where are they? There. We're stood out like sore thumbs, man.
What weapon systems are they using?
Well, we had a various ones. We had, for the 35 weapons, we had one pistol.
Oh, sorry, I meant the guards.
Oh, them. Oh, old Enfields and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I don't think these are automatic weapons.
No.
It's a bolt action.
Some of them did. Some of them did have, like, you know, I think a different version of an AK, something like that. But a lot of them were like Enfield kind of rifles. Wow. And I thought, wow, honestly, like, but it's still, you know, you've got a weapon, and the amount of times you could hear the guys saying, oh man, move your weapon. And come on, officer, because there was always an officer, like, and he's like, just wobbles their head and just think, it's tied to a brick wall. You know, they're not interested. They've been told to just keep stum. And we literally travelled right through the night. Now, your 14-hour bus journey to the Hotel California Part 2, which is the remand prison in Chennai. We got there in the morning.
How long does it took, from getting off the boat to this now?
So, just over a week.
Right. So, still in probably, we're getting this figured out kind of vibes.
Yeah, but
probably
after we getting moved from the first prison, we're getting moved away from that's when we knew this isn't going away now.
Or at least not quickly.
Not quickly anyways. Even a few months maybe, but it took a few months to put even charges on.
At what point do you turn mentally in this and go, lads, I think we're in the shit here?
Oh, when...
And we're not actually getting out. Because you've gone into the first place going, misunderstanding, embassy's here, justice will prevail. Come on, man. We'll be out in a few days.
And then we'll go to the remand prison, and you're there a few months doing every 2 weeks or every week video call. So you'll be doing like a video call in the prison to the judge down in Tuticorin.
Have you got representation yet?
No.
No lawyer?
No, not yet. The company is getting things sorted, but they've got to get the chance to get into prison. They need to know where we are and what we're happening. So...
How regular is the contact with the embassy?
Oh, very regular. They were coming to see us every week at that point.
And what are they saying?
Not a lot. There's not a lot they can really do and say.
Is this because you've not been charged yet?
Yeah.
Wow.
They can't... What people don't realise abroad, like, they can't do a lot till you've been convicted. You know? So when you're in remand, they can only be as, like, helping you out for little things, which were... I can't fault the embassy. I know a lot of you guys might disagree with me, but on a personal note, I can't fault the embassy for what they did to my family with facilitating my family coming to visit me in prison, parcels, X, Y, and Z. But when we were brought to Chennai, the remand, a few months later, coming towards Christmas, we get told we've been charged with illegal entry and weapons. And they only put this is what made me laugh. But at the time, the penny still doesn't drop. There's 35 weapons, but only 6 weapons are illegal. I'm going to say this now. Where do you think them 6 weapons were issued? What country?
I don't know.
So you got 6 Brits.
Is it your guys' weapons?
And the 6 weapons that they said were illegal, mind there's 35 weapons, but only 6 were the G3s, which were issued by BIS, the United Kingdom.
Are they actually your 6's weapons as well? Or is
No.
It... No.
No.
But they've just tried to...
They've gone...
1 + 1 = 2.
Yes.
Right.
6 Brits, 6 weapons. Oh, we're on to something, yeah? And they lied. The collector of evidence, and this he says this in a court of law years later. But basically, the collector of evidence didn't see the ballistic expert's report, but still put charges of illegal weapons on the men because he was forced to by the police. So when you hear about stuff like this, you're thinking, well, how? The weapons are legal. And then you've got the families back home. And you can feel their anger in the letters. But the weapons are legal. And you're like, I know.
Do they believe you? Do your family believe you that
Yeah.
that's not your weapon and it is legal anyway?
Yeah.
Right.
They saw the certificates. We even
Right.
got the certificates printed off and brought in by the embassy so we could show the prison. Because you've got to try and build a rapport with the prison. It is hard.
Have you gone to court yet? Are you still? You've been charged and you're just waiting for a date?
It was a little video court, and then now and again they'll get a bus journey to go down there.
14-hour bus journey.
Yeah, just so you can look good for their media, to keep it as relevant and all that. It was just a big shit show, and your time is just dwindling away. Christmas comes. Well, before that, we have a meeting with the embassy. Billy gets told, stay behind. And he comes back to from the jailer's office where we have our meeting with the embassy, 1.5 miles nearly to our compound. This is a compound for the foreigners. So we had a South Korean guy with 50 grand in cash for him because he was dealing with redwood and that's illegal. And the only way he could get out is if he gave half the cash to the police. He literally told her, he says, that's me bail conditions. So he's got $50,000, they want 25. And that's him free.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
Fucking right, he did.
You've got Tamil tigers, you've got Nigerian gangbangers who come up to her when they read the papers we're selling weapons. They're like, can you get any weapons? And we're like, what's that? And they showed her. And then any information in the newspapers, they would block it out. So when we spoke to one of the Indians who was our translator, because he was very good at English, educated, we called Richard, he used to sort our lights out. Good lad, Christian guy. And he got punished by them because the old Indians grassed him because we were giving them a bit of food for helping. You know what I mean?
What's the conditions like in this compound that you're in?
Basic. The cells, there were individual cells. So there's 23 of us. So I was in a 10 by 8 cell and there was 4 of us cramped up. And you've got the hole in the floor as a toilet.
What's that, bunk bed each side?
Just laying on the floor.
On the floor again?
Yeah.
So what have you got, a wall each?
Yeah. So I was facing the toilet. And there was 2 lads next to me and then Paul opposite. And then other guys would be 3 or 4. And then the captain and chief engineer, there was them 2 at the end.
What are you in then? Just, you're on is it the 2 sheets?
2 sheets. Still? Mug, spoon, dog bowl, and that's it.
I don't know enough about India to is it not getting cold at night?
Not in the southeast of India, no.
It's just pretty warm year round.
Yes, we did, come across like the monsoon. It does get cold, but it was like 24 degrees, and I was freezing because you're so adapted to their climate. We were in the tropical part of India, the southeast, where it's just ridiculous.
So I'm assuming there's no aircon in that prison.
Oh no, there was fans. but they just blow the hot air around, and you didn't realise what a difference they actually made till like cleaned our cell out and we switched the fans off, and it feels like you just feel the heat, and it's awful. Like just the conditions, and you're seeing all these people, criminals, and you're with these people, and it makes you feel angry because you're like, I shouldn't be here. And then you've got to try and befriend, because you can't be angry and, help me, help you. You've got to learn prison life. So, it's better to have them close. If you need something, they can get it. They've been here.
How long are you in the cell every day?
They open it at 6 o'clock and shut it at 6 o'clock. So you can walk around the prison, but at this remand one, we didn't really venture out much.
So there's 25 of you.
23 foreigners.
So
in
it's
this compound.
Estonians, Ukrainians, and Brits.
Yeah.
Are you guys all hanging out together?
Yeah, we're all together, just trying, just to keep each other up, keep our spirits going, because a lot of people are mentally stronger than others. People have got families.
Kids and that.
Kids. And this is happening. A couple of guys get a Dear John. And then, like I say, cracking that, isn't it? Don't bother coming back. I'm not coming back anytime soon, but it looks of it, darling. I'm glad, so grateful I didn't have a partner at the time or kids. Still didn't. But like I say, we had a meeting, and then Billy comes back and he's like, my family's coming. And I was like, well, buzzing, yeah. And then it's edging towards Christmas. The last embassy meeting before Christmas, And I remember Sharon and Petula, and I'll never forget Sharon's face, because they go, Nick, can you stay behind? I'm like a Cheshire cat, aren't I?
My family's coming.
I'm buzzing my tits off, yeah. And then they all disperse, and Sharon's just, she just changes, man. She just goes, I'm sorry, Nick, I don't want to do this, but I have to. And she just gave us this letter. And I'm just looking at this letter, and it's just words. It's all right. She's all right. She's all right. This is a letter from my sister. And I can feel my eyes just filling up, and I'm going, no, don't. And then I can feel the red mist starting to appear, and I'm like, don't. She's all right. And the embassy can see us. They can see a time bomb starting. And my mum has been to the hairdressers to get her Christmas hair done. And she suffers a double aneurysm in the hairdressers. So they've got to do immediate brain surgery. And it was operate. She might leave or she might die. If you don't operate, she's dead. And my dad's like, you've got to tell him. And my sister didn't want to tell us till my mum was recovering a bit better. And my dad was like, you've got to tell him it's not fair. But my sister was like, I don't trust me brother. And I got this letter, and I've got to walk in a mile and a half back to the compound in flip-flops.
What does the letter end up saying then? That she's had the aneurysm and she's going to be in surgery?
She's in hospital. She's fighting for her life. Try and keep your head together. We'll keep you updated as best as possible. But don't worry. And I'm like, what do you mean, don't worry? I'm in a prison with no fucking charges for a crime I've not committed, and you're telling me not to worry?
Yeah, I'm literally going to think about this 24 hours a day.
My world is hanging on by a thread, and you're telling me not to worry. And I say to the embassy girls, I say, look, if my mum dies, I want to bury her. And I'll go through all the rigmarole, police escort, and they go, we'll look into it because of the serious of what's happened to your mum. But, you know, they just look distraught as it is. They've just seen a man just break down in front of them. And then I walk out the jailer's office and I'm getting abuse thrown at us because they're telling the Indian prisoner we're coming to attack them. So the prisoners see us as evil and nasty, as terrorists to kill Indians. They're throwing sticks at us, stones. And I'll tell you what, they just bounced off us because the pain that was circulating from what I've just read in a letter. So I've got this letter just dangling and I'm getting wellied and I'm shuffling and I get to the compound and Paul's coming round. He's been walking around the compound and he goes, what? Because everyone was thinking I was getting a visit because that's why.
Yeah, Billy got to
after me, this didn't say it behind. They just said, "Oh, you're getting a visit," because of what happened to me. They didn't want to put people through that in case it was bad news for them. If it was, obviously, they would have to tell them behind, obviously. But I literally got to the compound and I broke down. I said to Paul, "I goes, I can't do this," and I told him about my mum. He says, and he grabbed us, and he gives a little gentle slap, and he says, "Yeah. You will do this because you're a paratrooper. You will get through this. If you don't, I will kick it into you. You will." I said, "I can't, man. My mum, if she dies, she's not going to die." And he's trying to just feed us full of positivity. And I was like, my life's crumbling here. It's hanging on by a thread. I was like, what happens if the embassy come back? You know, and then a week later, they come back with more information, a bit lighter. She's regained consciousness and, you know, she was in hospital for like 4 months. Tubes coming out of everything. Obviously, my sister didn't want to send us pictures like that because that would just worry us a bit more. But the embassy were a bit giving us update, and they went, just to let you know, for that the request that you asked, the Indians would not let you go home to bury your mum. She unfortunately died. And I looked at Sharon and I said, you want to make sure my mum doesn't die when I'm in here, because I'm going to burn this place to the ground and I will kill every Indian that comes in my path. I will not lie there. I am meant. So you want to make sure my mum recovers, because I'll go on a war path and there will not stop me till I'm dead. I meant that, and I put the shit up them, because I had nothing left to live for then. I had nothing. That's the bond between me and my mum. It was a difficult birth, so we've got that bond. Even to this day, if I feel a bit upset, my mum knows straight away, so I try and hide away from it, because she wants to know why her baby's upset. You know, but good job, my mum is a fighter. She's had 2 strokes before that, and she's had this, and she's a little fighter. She's like, you are not taking my son away from me, and I'm not leaving my son. So it was in a way where, you know, I was keeping her alive and she was keeping me alive. You know, and as the days go by, the months go by, you will spend Christmas, New Year, and then we're coming into 2014, and you've just gone, well, I thought spending Christmas and New Year in Baghdad was crap, but this beats it, this trumps it, spending in an Indian prison, you know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, we had some laughs, man. You've got to, you're ex-military. I had it, you know, the little slices of cake, and we had a cake eating competition. We were putting each slice in my mouth, you know, to see if I could, how many I could fit in, and then just chocolate cake going all over, because there was a prison shop, and you get like 750 rupees to spend per week. So the Mission of Seafarers used to put money in our account. Any money from our families could get put in. So we could go to the prison shop and say, look, can you buy some toiletries for us? Can you do this? Because we opted to not eat rice and dal 3 times a day. We decided to become Gordon Ramsays. And I'm sure we gave ourselves food poisoning one time, because I tell you what, I've never seen D&V go through 23 guys like that. I tell you what, I was in the cell. We used to not use the cell's toilets during the day. There was outside ones, and everyone was ill. Everyone was a knacker job. We were like thinking, we're going to die in here. You know what I mean? And I had to go to the toilet, and I was like, I'm just knackered. I'm a knacker job here. I've never felt so ill in my life. And I'm shuffling with my flip-flops because I was so weak. We all were at one point, shuffling. And I went, oh, no. I went, oh, fuck, I've shit myself. And then I was sick at the same time. And then I was laughing and crying at the same time, wanting me mum. I'm like, I'm going to die in here, man. And we had to wear white as well. Well, not at that prison, sorry, but I had like T-shirt and shorts at, obviously prison, you know, like the embassy were like, well, what sizes, so your family could, so we had no clothes, you know what I mean, and anything like that. But like after that, I was just like, I'm not letting the Estonians cook for her again. They fucking nearly killed her. I'm sure.
Did you get any sort of routine going to keep?
Oh, yes.
So what does that look like in there?
Routine. And you've in these situations, you've got to have a routine, because that routine will save your life. And that's why I'm always so grateful of being ex-military, because that instills in you know. So morning routine. So you get up, unlocked at 6 o'clock. We end up getting these 2 flasks, so we had to go 1.5 miles to the kitchen. So we'd fill our flasks up with hot water, so we could have tea, chai, or coffee. You know, you end up getting them.
And you're getting your steps in as well.
Yeah. So we pinched like a trolley, because these water urns, trying to carry them and burn yourself isn't going to go down well. So we had to go up there, and then you've got all the other prisoners, you know, verbal abuse. One of Nick, the other lad, he got hit with the back of the head with a stone. So after that, we were like, we'll complain to the superintendent. Was like, we're getting attacked here just to go and get our food. So we had to have prison escorts. There was one time we were safety in numbers, so we're all going. We passed one of the cells. One of the Indians had his throat slit, and he was like, claret going everywhere. And they were like, not bothered, because you're just a number to them. They're not bothered if you drop down dead. They couldn't care. It's less problem for them. But it was such a monumental task, so because it was so far from where we were in our compound and these, you know, before, like, obviously we cut it down, like getting so many kilograms of potatoes, carrots, onions, tomatoes, cabbage. At the time, we weren't getting any bits of chicken, but then when we started saying, look, there's any chance of getting a bit of chicken, because in their prisons, you only get chicken on a Sunday, and they all cook them biryani, or rice and dal the other days. And it was chicken feet, chicken necks, chicken wings. I was like, I feel like I'm back on a Chinese ship here, man. Do away with this crap. But we managed to get little chicken thighs, but they were like minute. So we would get 6 of them. So it was like 1 each for each English. And then the Estonian would do them. So, because their way of cooking, our way of cooking, we end up nearly killing each other. So they decided to cook for their guys and we cooked for us. And then we created 2 teams. So Paul and Ray would, and sometimes Nick, would do majority of the week, and me and Billy would do the other days, just so it eases the workload and you've got less people whinging saying you're not doing enough, pull your weight kind of thing. And it's like being back in the army as well, but because that's how you survive. Your routines, you're waking up in the morning. We would substitute the egg and dal for milk and chapati and boiled eggs. That was my breakfast till you were able to get porridge, so you could use that milk and have porridge just to help a bit. You know what I mean? Because we were losing weight. We were barely on a meal a day, and then you're eating the odd bit of sliced cake. I was quite big when I went in, and when we came out of prison on bail, the media and my family wanted a picture. So I got a picture took, but I never saw the photo. And I didn't realise how ill I looked till my sister resent me that photo before I came home. She went, "At least you don't look like that." And I looked and I went, wow, I look like I've been starved. If you want to lose weight, stuff that Manjaro, just go to an Indian prison for 6 months. You'll sharp lose weight. Don't worry about that. If it doesn't come out your mouth, it comes out your arse.
So you've got 6 months in this remand. You then get charged.
Then we got charged
and sentenced.
Bail.
Oh, you got bailed?
Yes, on stringent conditions, because they feared we might escape.
So you bailed, but have to stay in India?
Yes.
What's those bail conditions?
Signing at the police station 10 o'clock in the morning and again at 8 o'clock, and we were not allowed to leave anywhere. No passports.
How long are you on bail for? We
were on bail till July when the case got quashed. So
what length of time's that?
So we got bail April 2014 and July 2014, and we had another meeting. So in this period, the 90-day window. So we've won our quash in July.
So that's the charges acquitted.
It's not acquitted. It's we've got no charges, but the only charge that was open was the fuel, I believe, and that was just on the crew and the ship that brought the fuel, not us. So we're like, get us home then. Get us home.
So the weapons charges...
Yeah, everything was dropped from us. So case quashed.
Why can't you leave?
We don't know. But under Indian law, you've got 90 days to appeal. And in their law, it states during this time, you do not have to be in India. So
that's you can appeal or they can appeal. So
they're appealing to our
so the authorities
quash.
Are appealing.
And they've got to go up to Supreme Court. So High Court is where the case got quashed. They've then got to appeal at the Supreme Court. Because we're going against the police, they're going to hear their plea. If it was something else, they would not get it because they haven't got a leg to stand on. Because it's a police organisation going against, they're going to just allow them to take the case on.
Talk me through your mental state. So you've been on bail. Are you on bail? When does it get quashed? While you're on bail or before you go on bail?
We're on bail and we're out of prison. So we're staying in a hotel, hostel, this, that, and the other. I'm going with the flow. I'm
so how
finding
do you get out?
A gym.
How do you get out? What's the mechanism that got you out of the remand jail?
So we basically applied our lawyer. We got the best lawyer money could buy, and that was all paid for by the British people. Nice. And I'll always say thank you to every single person who donated. It wasn't to buy me a nice watch. It wasn't to buy me a nice pair of trainers. It was for freedom. Simple as that. Mm-hmm. And we won our case saying the weapons were not illegal. Okay, fair enough. And the case got quashed. We got released. Great.
So
But
you've
what
been. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the. So how you got out, was that because of they quashed the case, so they've done that, but you now have to stay on bail pending an appeal?
Yes.
Got you. Right, okay.
So we're pending appeal, and during this 90-day pending appeal, so if day 90 comes and they've not submitted an appeal, we are home, scot-free. That's
Are you thinking we've been quashed by the High Court, this is just mark time for 90 days and off we go? Or do you think that there's a chance that it's getting hooked back in here at all?
Well, we had New Delhi come down. So the people up in New Delhi, they came down for a meeting to Chennai to have a meeting with us to say, look, we don't believe they're going to appeal. It's 3-month wait, you know, and this is the British government saying this, and we're sat there going, so I'll just tell my family to keep paying for my hotel because work's not giving us a wage. You aren't paying for it. This is coming out my own. So 3 months is too long, especially when we're stating Indian law from 2 of our lawyers saying we do not need to remain in India during this 90-day appeal. And the lady from the British government turned around and went, we don't think they'll appeal. And we all looked at each other and went, who just basically mentally saying to each other,
so we go in then or what?
Who's going to tell her? And we looked at her, we all looked at her and went, you're not dealing with these people. You're not dealing with these people. So in a way, half of you believes they might not, and they're just making you mark time just to, you know, that last...
And you've got to think, the embassy's just said, we don't think they're going to appeal. There's got to be a part of you that's going, okay,
and
come
then
on.
You've got that other part where you're just thinking,
we've been shafted before.
I'm not believing now. The amount of times they say go and do weapon cleaning when you're in the army, and it's about 4 hours down the line before you actually pick a weapon up, but you've been waiting for 4 hours. So we've been here before, one way or the other, whether it be currently or what time in the military. But you always leave that little glimmer of hope. I'm a big believer in hope. So it's coming to the, you know, I'm just going to the gym, local gym, you know, I'm having to tell a little white lie that I'm a gym influencer and I'm going around India, and then I'm only here for a few weeks. And you start befriending the people, local Indians in the gym and all that, and they go, Nick, I thought you said you were going. So I was like, oh. And they went, don't worry, your secret's safe with us. We've seen.
Had they seen the news reports?
They've seen the news, haven't they? They've seen, because I always seem to be on the news for some reason. When I've looked at some of the news clippings from India, so they've put 2 and 2 together. And I come clean. I went, look, like, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want you to think I was bad. They went, don't worry. You are in the worst part of India. If you were anywhere else, you wouldn't be here. Because you're in a state where they despise the British. That's the only reason why you're here. And these are Indian local people telling me the crack. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know. And the chief minister of it, Tamil Nadu at the time, she died when we were in prison. It was great. Watching them all cry and we're in jubilant. Yeah, because she used to say that evil people, blah, blah. And
about you lot.
Yeah, and I was like, give her one, man. And 2 days, so day 88 of 90, our life was just destroyed again.
Day 88
of 90. And they go,
are you already thinking,
we're packed with bags, man. Where families are like looking to book flights for us. Even the embassy apparently were taken back because they didn't expect it. And we all went, I wouldn't have expected nothing less from these.
So talk me through how that news comes to you. You wake up day 88.
And then we get told, the embassy, one of the lads rang the lawyer rang him, one of the two, and said, oh, by the way, they've had their appeal at the Supreme Court. So you're going to have your charges put back on you because they need to start the thing that happens after that. So everything's at the Supreme Court now. So tensions are running high. They become a split faction. So the Estonians go and get their lawyers. We stick with our lawyers.
It's the entire team has been treated exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's not split by the nationalities. It's just a lot of yous are all in the same ship.
You're all in the same ship, but everyone's getting a bit chute saying, oh, the lawyers aren't doing the job, so we're getting our own lawyer. So we're like, okay, no problem. And I feel a bit crap because I give all the paperwork to the Estonians. But what people don't realise, in India, there's a caste system. So it doesn't matter if you are the top dog in the lawyer world. If your family's not as big as his, it doesn't matter. So in Supreme Court, so you've got, July 2014 and September 2015. It's dragging because it goes snail pace, and it's the Supreme Court.
So they're going to. Where are you staying at the minute?
Staying in a hostel.
So you stayed in a hostel from April through to September 2015.
Yeah. We were in a group, me, one of the other Brits, 2 Estonians, but...
Have you seen your family in this time? Have they come over?
My sister first come to visit me the first time for my birthday, which is March the 1st. So, in the remand prison, I do get told eventually, my sister's coming to see us. And I had seen her every day for a week. So Monday to Friday for 3 hours in the jailer's office, which was great. Seeing my little sister. And I just looked like a bag of shit. Hair starting to go up, beard, scruffy clothes, flip-flops. And my sister just broke down when she saw us. She just says, my little brother, he's just in shit state. She says, how are you? I said, didn't tell them the truth, but I'm all right. She says, you're lying. I said, I'm fucked. But I'm keeping a brave face on. I'm hiding a lot because negativity spreads like a wildfire. And if one person sees someone, it's just going to just go boom, like domino effect. So I was always trying to just laugh things off and hide behind that. But you can't, get past your sister and that. And on the it was funny because, she was telling us some mad stuff. People are showing amazing support. And I thought, I'm just a nobody, just a guy from my town, and it's like my whole town's come together in aid of me, showing their amazing support. And then I start, and then she says, oh, by the way, I didn't want to say this, but it was an Indian surgeon who saved your life, because she told me that on the last day because she saw how angry I was towards. I said I couldn't give a fuck where he was from. He did his job. I don't care. And I had to, because I had obviously bills and stuff, I had to get the prison to literally write saying, and a stamp, he's in the Hotel California, can you put everything on hold, rent and stuff like that. And I was just like, what the fuck's going on with my life at the minute? I was like, my life just, one minute I'm doing a job, next minute I'm in an Indian prison. And my whole life is upside down. My mum's fighting for her life, and I'm fighting to stay alive. And You see, you're seeing what prison life is really like, the harsh. But what's worse, being out of prison, because it's costing me family, and I'm not getting a pay off the company, which makes it even harder.
For a long time as well.
And it's a long time, and then now you're getting told it's starting up again. Your charges are being put on you, so you can't escape. And I thought, you know what? I've had enough here. I've had enough. And then out of the blue, like we're out of prison, but now out of the blue, and I get a message. Obviously, I'm not going to say it, but he goes, "Where in India are you?" I go, "Chennai, southeast." He says, "How can you get to Mumbai?" I went, "Wait, it's about 18 hours away on a train, and I've got to go through so many states, and I've got tattoos and I've got muscles, and I stand out and like a sore thumb, and every Indian that I come across wants a selfie, and I draw attention to myself."
Have you got your passport this time?
No.
Can you travel across states without that sort of ID?
Well, we had this letter, right? And it was only written in English, saying the reason why he's here. And I'm thinking, and we said to the embassy, "Can you not get it in Tamil?" And then when we kind of suggested that, the embassy looked at it and went, "Well, lucky we're giving you it in the beginning because they cannot read. So it doesn't matter if you put it in Tamil anyways, half the police can't even read." And I thought, that doesn't matter. But it was just to have something in case you do get stopped in the street by the police. Papers, which on one occasion it happened. It was a Christmas, Boxing Day, Man United played Newcastle. I think we won 3-0. So I went to a bar. I asked them nicely, "Can I watch the match?" Because cricket's more favourable over in India. And they were like, "Yeah, great." And I chucked them a little bit extra just because they were nice to let us watch the match. And I was on my way back to my hostel, and I got attacked by the police because I'd had a few drinks. So I was just wanting to go back to my hotel, and they were like, "Oh, papers," and that, because I'm like, "Oh, no, I don't have anything." They've taken us from behind and then dragged us along the floor, so my shoulder was knackered. There's a bit of the scar from when my hand was dragging along the floor, and I was in the police station, and I thought, what the hell's going on now? And I've got them shouting at us like that. Blah, blah, blah. "Who are you? Why you got no ID?" And I said one word, and that little spider sense went like that, because they were thinking, why does this white man know who these are? And I went, "Tell Q branch I'm at your police station. Chennai 6, US ship. US ship? Right, get them away now, quick." They didn't know how quick to put us in the police car and drop us off at my hostel. And then I became a recluse. My morale went really down, and that's when I received a message, and I was like, so I messaged them back, and I went, "If I can get to Mumbai, can you do what you said you're going to do?"
Just for the people back home, you don't have to say who, but what was the message?
"We'll get you a passport with the stamp. It's going to cost $5,000. We need half the money up front to cover you are coming, and give us the rest of the money on receipt of passport."
So basically that is, we're going to get you out of India and get you back home under a false passport.
Yes.
What would the repercussions back home would have been? Would there be any?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. Because India, but at the time I was being very selfish, and I was thinking of myself. I was like, I'm innocent. Everyone's becoming their own separate entity because tensions are really running high here.
We've nearly done 2 years.
Of nothing.
Yeah.
And
honestly, I can't believe you didn't break quicker.
And people are people haven't seen their kids. People are selling their retirement homes abroad to make ends meet because they're the bread earners of their family. Tensions are running high with people. Squabbling, fights, you name it, it was happening. We just were a split factor. And I was like, I'm getting out of Dodge. People were going here, there, and everywhere. You know, one of the lads got his shopping nicked off a monkey. Ran away with his bananas. And
did any of the team, whether it's Estonians or whatever, did anyone just bug out?
No, they went. Some people went up to different places, you know, but they all went back because as soon as they put charges on, that stayed local to Chennai because they could request you for anything. Come to the police station, and if you're not there, they'll. So I'm in this mindset. I've been attacked by the police. My morale, my self-esteem is non-existent. I'm missing my family. I'm not bothering. I don't care repercussions. I am going home. I spoke to my family and I told them this, and they went, you do know the risks if you get caught because you're trying to flee.
They already think you're a terrorist. Yeah, it's hot.
If you get caught, you're in a world of hurt because they're going to exploit you. You're prolonging your innocence, and you've been caught trying to run away. They will exploit that and say, well, if you're innocent, why are you trying to run? And my family were like, we'll give you the money, Nick. We'll give you the money. I said, I'm doing this for Mum. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for her. Because if she dies when I'm here, I won't be coming home. I'm doing it for her. I'm sacrificing my life for her. Fuck the rest. Fuck everyone else. And I meant that. Because I was like that. And then I went, I need to get out this hostel. So I went to a restaurant bar. And my sister went, be careful. Just be vigilant. And then I bumped into this northeastern girl called Mona Lisa.
Wait, that was a real name?
Yeah, that's a real name. Mona Lisa. And she became my saviour. She spilt a drink on us because she probably saw the size of me guns and thought, she was just really nervous. We just bumped into and she went, oh, I've got me Uber here, I'm going. And I was like, oh, nice meeting you. Cheers, thanks. It's all sorry for pits. It's all right, I've got dark jeans, it's all right, man. I just wanted to get out of me. I was feeling really low, and she come back, she goes, let's go party. I goes, let's go party. So it just became a beginning of a relationship, and starting to speak to my family with her via Skype. She would come and stay with me at weekends in my hostel, because where she lived, there was no males allowed in her campus, kind of thing. That's what it's like in it, because it's like the rape capital of the world. And they don't trust their men with women. And she was working for a software company, and she's very educated. At one point, she could speak better English than me. But really lovely girl, really, and we fell in love. And
she's from the northeast India.
She's from the north.
Sorry, when you said northeast, I thought you meant up near your end of the
She's
hoods.
from Assam.
Right.
So yes, and we hit it off. She become me rock as well, and spending time together. And my family was like, oh, maybe, it's keeping them occupied in a good way. Because things were not, it just went quiet. We had to wait till the court date up in, Supreme Court. But that wasn't going to happen till next year. So I've then happened to spend another Christmas and New Year, but I wasn't in prison. So I've spent Christmas and a birthday and New Year in prison. I then spent one out of prison, and we're now in 2015 kind of era. So I'm still seeing her. Things are great. But she's telling us I may have to move to Bangalore, which is the Karnataka, which is the next state up. So things are going to be a bit, but don't worry. I said, right, it's fine. No worry. So we went to Bangalore for New Year, and it's like British weather kind of. It's weird. One place to another, it's total, and it's not as restricted as what Chennai is. You know, there's bars and stuff like that. And we went with our friends, so I spent Christmas and New Year with her, and then the next year it all started back up in the Supreme Court. So the Indians have got their lawyer, their adamant legal weapons. We've got our lawyer saying, because the main question was, why were you there? We were there to procure fuel and provisions. That's it. We've maintained that. The police have maintained there. The weapons are legal. Okay. So in a court, our lawyer's better than the Estonian's lawyer, but with a cast, he got to speak before our lawyer. Lawyer went, why were they there? I don't know why the ship was there. I'm just here for the security.
Cheers, mate.
He doesn't care what you've said after, I don't know why the ship was there. So so you've left the judge with no other option. Well, if you're saying that, and you're saying that, there's only one other option. Trial. And this was up in New Delhi, and a few people went up there and they said, the police, you were nearly doing cartwheels, because guess where the trial was going to start? In the lion's den, where it all began, and they run the courts. The police run the courts, and that's where we're going to have a fucking trial, man. And we're sat there like, what the fuck? And it's coming up again to like Christmas time 2015, and you've just been dealt with this, and you're just like, right, okay. So from September 2015 to January, that's where the trial's starting, and they were wanting us to go back down there. Some of the guys went and moved down to there. I had her. And I told my lawyer, I said, I'm not travelling every fucking day to come here. You can get fucked. I said, unless the judge wants me here, I'm staying in Chennai. He went, right, okay, no bother. I went, cheers. So we spent Christmas and all that with her. And then we had to do our last before Christmas, where they have a 2 weeks break for the courts. Our legal team, paid for by many amazing, wonderful people who donated to the GoFund account for their legal fees. He said, look, we've done everything we can here. 10th of January 2016. It's on like Donkey Kong. So I come down the night before, stay in a hotel. This is decision day. Home. Or something else. I can't imagine. Prison. But for how long? Because when you're a foreigner, they don't deduct time served. So when all that doesn't come into the equation. So I was last to turn up. There was a video of me storming because I was late, because I had all the media bombarding us, and I was like, I'm in bed. Do you not realise the time? Oh, we didn't. And I'm like, so I was late because they were bomb. I mean, I had one phone and it felt like it was ringing about 10 times. Speak to me sister. I need to go to court. You got all the media there. So you've got this courtroom, and you've got this banister. We're all stood behind it. Down the left, you've got all the prosecution, Madame Q branch. And on the right side, you've got our embassy, our legal team, the Estonian embassy, and then front and centre, the type, last on the type assistant and the judge front and centre. And, you know, they're doing what they're doing. It's in their language. So we're like...
just sitting there going...
What's getting said? So we had the Tamil lad next to us going, translate, he goes, I can't really hear, they're talking quiet. And we're right at the back. And then they have a break. So everyone's having a break and we're like, I think it's just making us sweat. And we'll go back in again. And I'll tell you what, I've been to Iraq, I've been to Afghanistan, I've seen scared faces from women and children and men, you know, I've seen death. But when the judge's assistant stood up and muttered words and Madame Q branch didn't know how quick a flip-flops to get out of that courtroom, our embassy straight on the phone to New Delhi, and our lawyer, I've never seen a man shitting himself than he was, because he's now got to tell us what's just been said. And I tell you what,
did his expression tell you we're in this shit again?
Yeah, he was shitting himself because he was like, and we're like, oh man, what's he said? What's he said? He goes, 5 years. And we went, what? 5 years on weapons offences. And we're like,
we've been cleared of this. We did this already.
But
and they aren't illegal.
And prior to that, when you've got all the cross-reference and in the court, that's one of the reasons why I said I'm not coming back to court.
Did you feel like you was sound? Did you feel like...
Oh, yeah, they didn't even have a leg to stand on, but it didn't matter in that court. The police run them courts, the lower courts, and that's where the trial was, in the lower court.
But you still felt... Was you feeling confident?
Yeah.
On decision day, are you thinking, there's a chance this goes west,
yes,
but probably okay?
Yes.
Percentage?
I would say 60 yes, 40 no. That's what it was like. And I wasn't too, because your military always, you know, something always happens and you don't want to believe. You think, well, what more? Everything, you know what I mean? How, man, you kind of, something's not right if you send we're down, mate. And then for him to say 5 years, I went, how am I fucking going to tell me family? The media's there, me family. The media. And she's fucked off. The embassy's ringing New Delhi to say shit. Again, the prison.
Is that the embassy boss?
Ambassador. Yeah, she's ringing. She's like onto the High Commissioner. They're going to prison, mate. You know, and we're all like, hang on a minute, what's going to happen with my stuff? And we're like, we had to get the embassy with the police. The embassy were doing fantastic.
Have they've re-nicked you in the court then? So it's not.
I was speaking to Roman, one of the Estonians, and I said to him, I went, this doesn't look right. He goes, why? What do you mean? I said, look down the sides. There are loads of police because they were expecting us to probably kick off. And if you saw some of the Estonians, they would have just picked Indians up and just gone, boom. And there was guards coming down. And, you know, we held it together. We acted professional. There's no point humming and hawing, take it on the chin, you know, deal with the consequences another day. But at the moment, you're trying not to lose your shit. And And BBC rang us, and I went, and they go, "Oh, Nick, can you tell us?" I said, "Ring me sister. I've got to go." And I'm like, I can't be dealing with him fuckers at the minute. I'm trying to process what's going on. So the embassy's like, we're going to delay as much as we can. I said, you're fucking right. Well, who's going to pack me hostel room up, and who's going to go and get me stuff that's at the hotel? Because you weren't expecting that to happen. Of course, you're going to have positive thoughts, thinking it's going to go in your favour. But you
feel like they submitted all of the evidence that was required, and you've done nothing wrong. And
yeah, but you don't, because you've been in this game with him. You know you're not going to trust them. So that's where the little bit of doubt creeps in.
But even with the little bit of doubt, you're like, going home today.
Yeah. And then
is that the hardest night then? Because you think, oh shit, we've played our hand, we've been acquitted, it's been appealed. Do you think are you thinking, I'm doing 5 years?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And you don't think there's another card to be played?
Well, the only other card is appeal. How long is that going to take? It's taken 2 and a bit years just to get where we are. And now they've, said, right, 5 years. But none of that's... So 2013, I would have come back 2021. COVID then happened. India went into full-on lockdown. So I'm glad we got home when we did, because I wouldn't have seen no family, no embassy, and I guarantee you, not one of... There might have been 1 or 2 that might not have made it. And I mean that. We all were hurting. We all hid a lot. And some shown. I remember speaking to some of the Estonians, man, and they were packing their bags, and he was unpacking, and he was building himself up. And I said, don't, because it's harder to pick yourself up when you build yourself so high of feeling positive. But that was his coping mechanism, and everyone had their own coping mechanisms. And you can't get you pregnant, I suppose, but inside I was crying, inside I was in pain. But I just joke it off, and that's what pissed a lot of the guys off to a degree, because I wasn't going to bow down to them. And yeah, it was pissed off. Yeah, you're always coming up with things. What ifs, this, that, and the other. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. How this, what? Then you got the trade deals, and you're thinking, no, it's got nothing to do with that. And then all you're thinking of is, how the fuck do I tell my family? Again.
And how does this then get resolved? Because you do go back to jail, right?
Yeah. So I ring my family. I ring my sister. I went, get to Mum's now. She went. I went now. I rang my dad. I went, Dad, Gans, what's the matter? I went, I'm not coming home. Gans, what do you mean? Weapons. He says, the certificates are fine. They're not illegal. I went, Dad, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to these people. Doesn't matter. 5 years. I'll see you. And the only time I've ever seen my dad or upset is when I told him I was going to Afghanistan, and that was on the back of that horrible incident with the Welsh guard. So that OC got killed as well.
The CO, wasn't it?
CO, yeah. That's the only time I've ever seen him upset. He wasn't even upset when I told him I was going to prison for 5 years. But I know fine well, as soon as that phone call ended, he would have been going up shit creek. I can't imagine. So I'll have to ring me sister. The media's there. Me mum. Put us on loudspeaker, and I tell you what, if you want to hear what me mum, if you want to envision what me mum sounded like on that phone, picture a wounded animal screaming in pain. That's what she felt. And that's all I got on the phone, her screaming down the phone, and the red mists coming back, and I thought, I'm going to see red in a minute. I'm going to go and strangle that judge, because you're still there. He made the maid would parade in front of him. And my mum's screaming down the phone. Screaming. And I've then got to go and do 5 fucking years for a crime I've not committed. Just like everyone else. Started at the beginning, now to go through at the end. Now a lovely bus journey back. Because they were wanting up straight away. They were, should we put them in the first prison overnight? The Indians went back there. We went on another magical bus journey. Tyre pops, so I had to wait for another prison bus. I thought, well, we're not even going to make our sentence. We're going to be dead before that. They're going to kill us. Oh, they were booting it. Absolutely booting it. We got there. We arrived at the next door prison. So you got the remand and you got that which is next door in the morning. And the superintendent there, she was a very educated woman. She was a trained lawyer as well. Really lovely person. She knew we weren't meant to be. We showed her the certificates in time. And she says, why are you in my prison? And then she went on maternity leave. And I said, I bet she comes for our leaving day. And she did as well. But the guys are just raw. They're just like, you're getting your 2 sheets again. You know, and we're just like, right, okay. And in this prison, where our compound was just near the main door, so we didn't have like a 1.5 mile walk. But you know, you've got to then get your mind in gear again, get your routine. I plunked my arse near the toilet. I know it wasn't, great, but I wasn't literally next to the toilet. And there was 23, we were all in one cell at one point. And then as time goes by, tensions, and then we get another cell. So we moved literally below the, so there was like a compound with cells like that. So it was like one cell there, and then a couple of single ones, and a big cell, a couple of single ones, and then up the stairs where we were initially, there was one big one. And then tensions, and then we moved downstairs, and then even the Estonians, they had tensions.
Tensions between who? The
guys were just...
How many of you in that cell?
Well, initially there was 23. Then
so that's the whole team?
Yeah, the whole Westerners. And then after that, we had 5 of us, 5 Brits. And then the Estonians and all that, they broke up again.
So where was the other Brit?
He stayed with them.
Right. When you say tensions, what, lads getting stuck in?
Oh, mate, they were fighting each other. One of the Estonians got a half bottle of vodka smuggled in somehow, and he just necked it on his birthday and just started kicking off. Russians and vodka.
I mean, I can understand it.
Oh, blow! I lost my shit in the hospital, and I started a riot. I lost my shit with the doctor, and I started a riot. I went back. Because the guys, they threw us out, and I was like, and I went back, and the lads outside smoking biddies, the like Indian leaf, and they saw me coming back, face like thunder, and they went, oh, what's happened? I went, I'm going to fucking kill that doctor, and I picked up this metal bar, and they went, you put that down, I'm going to wrap it round his head. They went, we're going to, come back. A couple of Brit guys came to the hospital. They went, give that Paul, you're not going in there with that. I went, right, okay, what's happening? So I told them what was happening. Right, we'll go in and we'll apologise. You know, it's always your fault in their eyes. It's never theirs. Where as soon as we came in, one of the Indian guys went to go for one of the lads. Oh, I've never seen a headbutt so... Oh, it was tremendous. One of the Indians went like proper angry to one of the lads, and he just went bang right on the chin. This Indian just slid down the wall. It was tremendous. Claret going everywhere, and then he windmilling someone around the block.
Was there much violence in that?
Oh yeah, there's tables getting thrown, chairs getting thrown. I was nearly getting hit with crutches. And then I grabbed the guy who had the crutch, threw that into the bush, grabbed him, threw him in because he was built like a pencil. I turned and then just got whacked in the face. And then there was blokes doing extract because they were calling for backup and there was only 4 of us. Because the Estonians couldn't be bothered to come and save her because then there would have been hell on because they would have mangled them. But I lost my head and I owned it because I put her in 3-month lockdown.
I think you're allowed, mate.
I put her in 3-month lockdown where we had to be escorted everywhere by the guards because...
Put the whole team?
Everyone was compound lockdown for 3 months.
What, 24 hours a day?
Because of me. So I was like...
I was
the most hated person for a while.
Yeah, so I was going to say, you're not the favourite member of the band.
No. And I apologised. I said to the superintendent, put me in segregation. Don't punish them. Punish me. She wouldn't. She says, you've been marked by the gangs. We went, and? We're military. Let's kill them. They're not going to do it. But she worried about us because if something happened to us, it wouldn't look good on her watch and the prison would be in shit state when there's 23 of us. Literally, it would be like the Alamo. Honestly, there was big gangs in the prison.
Do you think having 23 of you, all, let's be honest, military security personnel and together probably kept you all alive in there?
Yes. If there was even if there was just the 6 Brits or just a smaller amount of people, it would have been a lot of... That's why they call it safety in numbers. We never got hit by any of the guards because they've tried, and from a few of and even they got told off by their superiors, do not touch these people because we do not want the drama. And then as time in prison goes on, you build a rapport and you realise they don't want you there. They do not want you, so why be a dick to them? It's hard not to. They're quite easy people to be, get pissed off with when they wobble their head and go, wait, and you're like an hour later, what am I waiting on? But they do it for a reason, and I learned if you go in like a bull in a china shop, they just whatever, mate. You talk to them like a human. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're just doing their job.
So how do we get out? How long have we had to do in this?
So now we're in 2016, and we go straight away, put an appeal in. We get to the point where we're waiting on a decision at the High Court for a year. So
it's a year in the second.
So for 5 years, for a year of that, we're trying to get a case. Then a year of them trying to make a decision. So we're on our second year of 5 years, and it's not like in the UK where you could go, "No, wait, Judge, what's going on?" Why, in the UK, when your date is, when you're going to be in court, But it was just, I'm not making a decision, and you're like, eh? You can't refuse to make a decision. You've heard all the evidence. It's you as the judge to make a decision whether, because if he goes no, that's it.
Yeah, finish your sentence.
Finish. You can't appeal again, because if you don't win the first appeal, what's the point trying to do? And it's just costing money. And the captain's dying of bone cancer. I've never seen a man so ill in my entire life. He was like a skeleton with a thin sheet of yellow skin.
And he's with you guys.
He's with us. And he's... At first, you thought, what a bell end for what he did at the beginning. But then you think, he's one of us at the end of the day. He's fucking dying, man. And I said, if one of us dies in here, we will be out of this prison before you know it. And I wasn't hoping he died, obviously, but in them circumstances, you do think, come on, pop your clogs, mate. But he didn't realise at the time when they were putting a red herring. So they were like, right, let's get his family from Ukraine to come and watch him die in a private hospital. So it was to get him out of prison. And then the lower courts, high courts, and it went all the way up to Supreme Court for the captain, and the grand old Chief Justice himself, the top boy, took his case and went, why are these still in India? Your Honour, if you kindly look at Madrai High Court, they've been waiting a year for a decision. Would you like to... Right, I want a decision within 2 weeks. A week later, we get a date. It feels like you're winning the lottery in that moment of time. I was outside in my Flintstone gym under the mango tree, which is Paul and Ray were going to get food.
Is that just to hear a date, though? Not even the decision?
That's the decision.
You know it's acquittal.
That he's gone, I want a decision. And I knew straight away, that's it, it's game over. If the top judge in India's gone, I want a decision date, that's it. That's more or less him saying, get them out now.
I'd have still been panicking, man.
Oh, mate, I was still apprehensive because I don't trust these. But all the other guys were like, we'll see what happened. I was buzzing. So that was like, a week. The longest week ever. And then...
What's the date of that?
It was the 28th of November, 27th of November. So the Sunday night.
What year?
2017.
So this is 4 years, 1 month, couple days since you first got off the boat.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, mate.
Right, getting told, to my family, I'm getting arrested. Obviously, I told Mona Lisa, she was amazing. She went up to pack all my stuff. And the hostel people knew. I built a rapport with them. They got us the box so I could watch the football, man. So I didn't have to go to pubs again. They paid me to... So it was a funny time because she was playing on Candy Crush when it was the Manchester Derby when we drew 0-0. And I was shouting and they thought I was Brainer. They came to the door, Mr. Nick, mate. She's all right. But, mental, man. Like, all that's happened. You're back in prison. You're doing 2 years. Out you're 5. And you're thinking, if they can delay a decision for a year, what else can they do?
That would have been my panic. That this, even if they've got a decision, that doesn't mean it's coming in my favour.
But when the judge said that, and we had asked twice, and they went, not the Chief Justice of the state, the top boy. And I knew straight away, that's it, it's game over. He's more or less said, you're embarrassing me now, you arseholes down there.
Give me the day. You get the day the decision comes, talk me. I want to paint the entire picture.
So Sunday night, I'm sat on my little stool, my little red stool, with me sheet. There's a pillow. We had little thin mattresses as my bed by this time. We've had them.
The luxury. The
luxury, yeah. We had a radio, which only was the Chennai FM, which only played English music, and it was having ballad night. And I've always liked this song, but it was so fitting. And this is no bullshit. This is the 100%, and I mean it on the swear to God. The final countdown came on when Europe's final countdown song came on, I stood up in the cell and I went, that's it, lads. It's over tomorrow. And a couple of lads were like, oh, we'll see, man. We're different now. We kind of trust these. I went, so no one's sleeping that night. No one's sleeping that night. You hear because we do acquire the odd lighter now and again. So you hear lighters going like that. It's not fucking working. Trying to smoke the little prison cigarettes. And then the 6 o'clock comes, he's getting booted out the way because you're going to go and try and tire yourself out in the little gym. So I was doing that. And then I'll do like a little makeshift routine with a little Flintstone gym and then walk around the compound for a little ease off.
Just trying to kill the time.
Just to kill the time because none of us slept and I was shattered. And I just wanted to see what happened because, you know, we're just being given, it's over. Like, that's it. Kind of thing. It's going to be today. But when? How many cases is 40? Oh, no doubt we'll be the last one. Yes, 40. So all day you're waiting. And I'm just trying to just keep myself occupied. And then I'm outside. And Paul comes to the barred window. And I'm outside. He goes, Dunny. I went, what? And he says, case acquitted. And mixture of happiness and sad at the same time. He goes, case acquitted. It's fucking over. And I went, I fucking told you. I told you. So I was like, right, let's finish off my routine. And I was like, I cannot do that. And I thought I'll just grab my bottle and my towel and I walk back. Oh, and blokes are going berserk. I've never seen a group of men so happy in my entire life. And sad at the same time. Because our lives have just been destroyed.
For 4 years. For
nothing. So we don't sleep that night.
Yeah, because...
It was too...
They don't let you out that minute, do they?
No. And the next morning, booting him out the way again, the guard, trying to tire myself. And then I'm coming around. Paul is going out. I went, oh, superintendent summoned us. I was like, all right, okay. Come back in again. I went, what's he said? He goes... Get your shit together. The embassy's coming at 11 o'clock. And I mean, I just collapse. It's like someone had just kneecapped us. I was like, it's over. And I'm thinking, I'm not rushing. I've been here before. So I'm going to get a bucket wash and freshen up a little bit. I even had me t-shirt picked for me day I get out. I have a shave because I was at that itchy stage, so I've got long hair and I have a shave. Still look like a bag of shit though, but a happy one. And I'm taking my little bag down. And the embassy's there. The High Commissioner's there, the Deputy High Commissioner's there, the superintendents of our maternity leave to come and see me, the Director of Prisons there. That's when you know there's no going back now. The cars are there, and they jump in and they go, right, there's a bottle of Coke for you. And you're like, you've never had a cold drink in 2 years. And you take that drink of Coca-Cola and it's like heaven in your mouth and you're just thinking, I don't like Coke. But that's heaven. And then I don't know any number apart from my sister's, and we get to the embassy and I'm ringing because they've obviously been told, but we don't know this. Hello? And obviously you've got it's me. What do you mean it's me? I said it's Nick and me. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, man. I'm on my way to the airport. I'm coming to get you. It's just like we getting drove to the airport. Like,
you thinking,
my sister's friends have just gone, get yourself to him, bring him home now.
You thinking, just get me out of India? No matter what, I don't care where I'm going, just get me out of India.
Yeah. So we finally get out at the embassy for a bit, and I get put in the Radisson Blue, which is near the embassy, which is near the visa department, so I don't have to travel too far. And then I'm in bed and I get a phone call. Your sister's here. Can you come down? So I've put the robe on, hair's all over. She comes out with a new top newspaper. I'll not mention the name because it might cause a few. It begins with an S, ends in N, and you see it in the sky. They came out with her. And I saw my sister for the first time whilst not in the prison. I saw her on 3 occasions. She always came out to see my birthday. And it was tremendous. But I was like, I'm not home yet. It's not over till I touch down at Newcastle Airport. I don't care. And then we've got a week of going through the... Blokes are getting pissed off. Oh, and I'm like, it's that last roll of the dice to piss you off, man. They want you to do something so they can arrest you again. You know, one of the Estonians went on the piss and was fighting. We're like, oh, we're going to get arrested again, man.
Have you guys not got passports either at the moment?
I've got a new passport. Mine ran out, and the British government just give us one there.
I was going to say, yeah, because
But we were like, get our passports back. Why? We'll just give you a new one when it runs out.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. But they try and do all the formalities, and I'm thinking, yeah, bullshit, just cancel my passport and give us a new one. Yeah. My sister's out, my ex-girlfriend, she comes down from Bangalore, so I've got 2 of me lovely ladies with us. I'm looking like a bag of shit. Like, haven't slept and I can't sleep in a bed. I've got this big double bed and my ex-girlfriend's going, do you want to come to bed? I'm lying on the floor. I'm like, I cannot sleep in it. She says, and she got upset. She realised what it was like. But I couldn't. I'm running on fumes. I'm literally running on fumes because I've not nearly slept in a week. And then we get our tickets, our visa. My sister has to go. She has to go. My ex-girlfriend went the day before back. She had to go back to work. So I was left alone in India myself. And the embassy were like, what airports do you want to go to? I went, I want to go on this. I want to get this flight. So I'm only in Dubai an hour and a half. And Sharon looked at us. She went, you've got to go now, Nick. Not later. Now. We have to take you to the airport. I went, right, just get us out of this fucking country. So I went from Chennai to Dubai. That was 4 hours. And I had to sit in Dubai airport for 6 hours. Anyone who's been to Dubai knows you can get it. Internet signal. Oh, not my phone. It was like, do not let him connect. Do not let him know what's going on. And I had this Americano. I had no money, nothing. I got this Americano bought for us. I made that last about 6 hours. I was sipping it because I was thinking, I've not slept in a week yet. If I miss my flight, I'm going to fucking get killed off my sister. And then I have to have a flight from Dubai to Newcastle, so 7 hours. I'm hanging out here. I had my own trolley dolly, but they made it so low key. Now, what Emirates and Newcastle Airport did for me and my family was tremendous. There was people on that flight, they knew, because I was like a bag of shit, hair all over, going like that. And no one disturbed me, which was great. So, am I okay to still?
Yeah, keep going. Oh. It's that one that's gone in it.
Everyone on but no one, like, oh, hi Nick, blah, blah. Of course, some people knew, but people's collars went, like, mouth welcome home. And I was just like, I watched Dunkirk. I thought that was a pile of shit. Maybe because I was hanging out, I don't know. And I watched this other film, and I tell you what, for 4 years, I've been dreaming of this moment. And the only thing that was the exact same is, you know, when the captain goes, "Can you please return your seats? We're coming into land," blah, blah. When he said that, it's like a new battery had gone into me. I was like, wow. I've gone from hanging out to, wow, new battery. And then when you're coming to Newcastle Airport, you kind of come past my town and I can see noticeable landmarks. And I'm thinking, I'm home. And we'll land. And I'm the last to get off the plane. The captain and all his trolley dollies are shaking my hand saying, "Welcome home." I stand on this December the 7th, 2017, crisp Newcastle air. I stand at the door and I go, "Oh, fucking freezing, man." But I took a breath of fresh air and I went, "Wow, that's clean." Because I've smelled shit for 4 years. No shit. And I nearly fell down the stairs because the baggage handler teams were, "Welcome home, Nick." And then I turned and the buses stood there with all the people on there. I was like, "Oh, sorry." They were like, "Don't worry. Today's your day. Don't worry." And they went, and I tell you what, the carousel hadn't started. My bag was there. They'd literally been told, "Get his bag." And the woman who picked me up from Newcastle Airport went, "Right, let's go." And I went past the immigration. I went, "Oh, I could have brought loads of back. She went,
they walk you through it.
She went, "I'll pretend I didn't hear that." And then she got us to the doors, and she went, "This is for you only. Welcome home, Nick." And she left, and I'm stood with these doors there, and I'm like, you know what? Parachute regiment, soldier training, paid company, hard. But this was harder. This was harder. This is the day I've been waiting for 4 years, and I don't know what's going to be on that other side. My mum was fit and healthy. She's nearly died, and I don't even know. I do know what she's like. We were Skyping when I wasn't in prison, so I know, but I just haven't seen her. And then and then the doors open because people are starting to come in, and on the right-hand side, all the media's there, and on the left, there's friends, family, random people, just big banners, "Welcome home, Nick." And they shut again. And I'm shitting myself. I'm shaking. I'm like, I can't do this. Yeah, I can't do this. I can't. And I try and compose myself. I'm going, "Right there, come on, let's go. Come on." And I go a step forward, and then obviously other planes, there people are coming, and they open it again, and my dad's talking, and he goes, "He's there." And then when anyone sees the video of me coming back home, you see us come out, and me and my sister just collide together, and it's a dream that was destined for me only, and I had to go through pain and hell to experience joy and happiness. 4 years of pain for this moment. And you could hear a pin drop when it was me to give me mum a hug. And I united my family, extended family, because of me. I brought a community together because of me, and I thank everyone from Emirates, Newcastle Airport, everyone's amazing support. Had people writing to us from Australia, France, Canada. I've met the guy from Australia because he's actually a Geordie, but he lives in Sydney. The amazing support and the media. I know a lot of people don't like the media, but they were fantastic for me. They never were like talking on top of each other as they would normally. They would give us time to answer everyone's questions, and then, you know, I go back home, and they go, "What do you want to eat, Nick?" I goes, "Get us a McDonald's, man. I'm fucking starved." So I got me McDonald's, and then they were like, "You're home, Nick. You've got media to do." So I was on my local TV, and I was shattered. I was absolutely. I've not slept in like nearly a week. But I wanted to show people my gratitude, and I wanted to show people how thankful I am for your support, because I threw the towel in so many times. You kept on throwing that back. You said, "Keep going, Nick." I kept on saying, "I can't." You's got me through it. I am strong. I know if I didn't have my military training, I would have been probably a lot worse off. And this with me military training. This has destroyed me mentally, but I'm trying my best. I've felt depressed a few times. I've tried to take my own life because of it. I have a gentle reminder of me mum. She can't speak. She can't speak words because of her aneurysm, and that eats away at me. You know, she doesn't know my name. She knows I'm a son, obviously, but she can't say my name without being prompted. She can't, you know, and it's so upsetting. But I do think to myself, why? Why? Is it because of 2 Italian Marines killing 2 Indian fishermen? Yes. But why did it become such of something that was nothing related? You're not trying to tell me India wanted a better trade deal with the United Kingdom? Of course they did. And we were the pawns, so they could get a better deal. It all makes sense. I can sit here and look back and go, you didn't just piss around for 2 years till 2016 for when you know, British and Indian trade deals started. You knew that was going to happen, and you knew you could delay it and delay it and delay it and delay. You just destroyed lads' lives, men's lives. Men have been divorced. Men have lost family homes. Men have lost their way. I'm suffering. I try my best, but one minute I'm happy, next minute it just really hits me. I've been really suffering lately, but I'm starting to perk myself back up. But I've never understood why. Why did they do this? When there was nothing there, we've done nothing wrong. Why did you do this to me? You know, people go, Nick, did you get compensation? We got offered 1,000 rupees. That's £10 to the equivalent. £10 for destroying my life. Not only my life, but my family's life.
Did the company that you were work for, did they ever offer you anything for the time? That's
they
outrageous.
Just disappeared. They disappeared.
That's
left
outrageous.
with a rot. They tried to play it cool at the beginning, but then they decided to not pay the hotel, and so the hotel kicked them out. You know, it just goes to show that if you do work abroad, be very careful. It can turn ugly in a blink of an eye.
What do you think got you through that 4 years?
Me mum. The thought of not seeing her again. Mind, it wasn't great when we had to look at the newspapers watching my news fall. Because I remember watching Fergie's last home game in Sri Lanka, mortal, crying, thinking, my hero's gone. And then the following year, I'm in a fucking Indian prison.
What would you say to anybody that finds themselves in the situation you find themselves in, where you've been wrongfully accused or there's been this level of injustice? How do you keep going?
First and foremost is try and keep the red mist at bay. Because when you're angry, when you're full of emotions, you don't think clearly, and you can make things a lot worse. If you do find yourself end up being in prison, before you start and get emotional and let the feelings of home and start questioning things, because you'll always fight against your own mind, is to get yourself into a routine. It's crazy, whatever it is, even like it's bed space in that cell, that can make everything change. And try not to be full of hate and anger, because you're in a foreign prison. You could be by yourself, a group of yous. They will exploit that. They'll exploit you to get you to either admit to something you've never done, or to get you to lose your head to where you do something, and then they can get you one way or the other. But it's to never give up hope. Never give up hope. Always believe in hope. Even if you've got a sentence for 5 years, still believe at the end of them 5 years, I'm going to be free. You know, but it's never give up hope, like I say. And it's hard. I threw the towel in many times. They kept throwing it back. Random people writing to me, not knowing me from Adam, writing to me, spurring me on. Keep going, Nick. Keep going. We're all behind you. And most of us are side by side. They got me through that final hurdle. You know, my sister brought me dad to see us, because I said I need to see him. He's in his 70s. I can't see my mum. His health could deteriorate. I need to see him. You know? And he got me that final hurdle, because I was just ready to just throw it all away. You know, I didn't want to be there. I thought, you know what? I'm not good with knots. Let's learn how to make a knot. I've got plenty of time. I can make a sheet. You know, but then something inside you, you know, when things start happening, that goes to one side, because hope takes over. And, you know, has it made me a stronger person? Yes. Has it showed a lot of weakness in me? Yes, because I am just human. I am a flesh and blood with a person with emotions. You know, you may think you're Mr. Tough Guy in your UK prison. Come to do a prison abroad. We'll see how tough you are when you're crying for mommy, because I was. And I'm not Mr. Tough Guy, but I definitely was crying for me mum every night. And every other guy was. They might not want to admit it, because we're men and we're proud, but I am not a person that's going to shy away. I will tell people how I feel. And at the end of the day, I try to keep a lot of the guys together, because negativity spreads like a wildfire. So I probably sacrifice my own well-being for everyone else. But that's what anyone would do.
Would you have any advice for someone thinking about doing a seafaring contract work at the moment?
A job's a job. I'm not going to say don't do this, don't do that, just because I did it. If you want to be a seafarer, whether it be just working on ships in general, or, you know, doing any security, there's still going to be. It's not as boom boom as it was a few years ago when I was doing it, but it's still there. The advice is always be vigilant. Yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. Play it stupid. Because the moment you try and think you're better than the law, they'll twist everything and they'll ruin your life.
Any regrets?
The only regret I have is ringing me mum. Because that haunts us. Hearing her voice, even though it was a little bit groggy, I have no memory. Because she never liked our video taken. She never liked a picture took back then. Oh dear, I can sit on record and record her now. She loves it. but I've literally got no memory of what my mum used to sound like when she was speaking. So I advise people make memories because you can reflect on them. I haven't got nothing like that.
Nick, this has been unreal, honestly. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on your show.
We've not done this before, but the reason Nick's on is because I've got this book. And Nick popped up in the comments of one of my lives.
I did, yeah.
Can you remember what you said?
Oh, fuck. Can't remember now. I'm sure you said something, and I was like, oh. You went and reached over and grabbed me a book.
Yeah, above my monitor when I'm doing my lives at home, I have a bookshelf.
Yeah.
And Nick said something, and I went, "I've got your book." So then I thought, it's a hell of a story, and this is not an advert for Nick, but it's an advert for Nick. So Damian Lewis with a foreword, which is hell of a.
It's a good forward by him as well.
Surviving Hell, Nick Dunn. If we didn't cover it there,
it's in more depth in there, especially with my family side as well. So it's a bit of a, it's one of those.
But I would say go check it out. It's on Amazon and everywhere. But Nick, thank you very much for joining us. And
thank you very much.
Thank you for you guys watching at home. This has been emotional. Thank you.